Hello, good afternoon or good evening, targeted individual. My name is Grace. I'm one of the targeted individual here in London, in UK, and it's nice to be alive today. And I hope you're all well. In today's episode, I'm going to be updating you on my recent experiences of targeting, which I think it has intensified from what it was from last year. Um, you remember in my last episode, I did talk about what was happening, and recently it has escalated from there. The targeted has increased in intensity, and I do not go out a lot, simply because not because I don't want to go out, it's simply because there's nowhere to go to. I retired last year. Most of my friends are nurses that, just like me, that are working during the day and probably at weekend they want to, have a quiet time with their family. So basically, there's nowhere to go to. So I tended to stay at home, and staying at home is like giving myself to them to target 24/7, which they were doing anyway. And going up to there's no, it makes no difference anyway because I'm being followed to wherever I go and then targeted intensely. Last week, I happened to try to go away from just my surrounding a little bit far afield into shopping center in Bromley. The reason is I wanted to send something home to my sister for our kids and pop some bits of what I had just to send home to help with the situation at home. So I went to Bromley, and one of the, if you know, one of the shops, I'm not going to call their name, one of the shops that sells, cheap clothing that people, even rich people, could go there and buy some cheap clothing. Exactly, it starts with P. So that is the shop I went to straight from home. I just got on the bus and I find my way to the shop. And as soon as I find my way to the shop, because of my profession of being a nurse, I do see some of my friends once I go out and I do stand and chat with them. So I happened to get into this shop that starts with P. And there I saw one of my friends that comes and go, comes and go. So I was happy to see her because she was also traveling to the West Indies. So I found my way to the children's section upstairs on the third floor. And as soon as I went in there, by the time I got in there, actually by the time I got to Bromley, I could see their cars, the perpetrators' cars on both sides of or on one side of the road. Obviously, they do mind reading and kind of neuro monitoring. So through my mind reading, I'm sure they know where I was going, but I didn't hide. I don't hide. So I went in there. As soon as I went into the shop, went upstairs, looked around a little bit, then went upstairs to where the children's clothes were. And not far, I could see like two security people just turn around. Before I knew it, a man and a woman, they were with their phone looking anxious, looking at me, not knowing what to say, not knowing what to do. And I'm used to that sort of I'm used to that sort of scenario. I'm not anxious if they think they're doing that to make me anxious. It does not make me anxious. What it makes me want to do, which I'm trying not to do, is to take their photos and for evidence of harassment. But I try not to do that these days unless I think maybe I just feel I needed to. But most days these days I try not to. I just looked at them and let them see me. I'm not running away. I haven't done anything. So as soon as I went upstairs, I know they had phoned them. And by the time I got to the third floor, there was a man and a black woman standing there very nervously. They happened to be security people. And what happens sometimes, by the time I get anywhere, especially some of the shops, if I go there, as soon as I go in there, there's always this constant announcement that we have CCTV, anybody trying to commit crime. And I'm just laughing. You can have it CCTV coming out from everywhere from this stuff. It's got nothing to do with me. I'm not scared of your CCTV. I'm not somebody. I've lived in this country for almost 30 years. I've never committed a crime, so it's not now I'm gonna commit a crime. It's not in my blood anyway. So as soon as I got in there, I'm just looking for little things to buy and send home, and I just felt this unleash of electricity from my head. There was no stopping. My eye became bloody from my head to my toe, from my head to my toe. Unfortunately, that day, did have a lot of drink before I leave home. So sometimes I do try to drink a lot, but I didn't have anything on me. So that is something that I'm getting myself used to. If I'm leaving home, I'll get a bottle of drink. If I don't have a bottle of drink, I'll buy one on the way to wherever I'm going, because that helps to calm down at least the internal organs. So as soon as I got there to upstairs, all I'm feeling is this unleash of electricity in my body. It kept on and on and on. I don't know their objective. Maybe the objective, I know, well, is to harm me. Their goals is to harm me, but I'm thinking probably they thought if they did that, then I'm just going to run and drop everything that I was doing and run away. I wasn't going to. I said nothing was going to stop me. If you like, whatever you do to my body, and that's it. What can I say? Even if I leave the shop, they're still going to do it. So I can as well stay in there. And I just stood there as long as it takes, and as long as I finish my shopping, I make sure I finish about whatever I wanted, and I make sure my friend too, she was also doing shopping because she was traveling. Excuse me. She also did their shopping, and when I was ready to go, I left because I wasn't going to be chased out of the shop because of misinformation, lies that they've told against me. I was not going to. So they have, it seems every shop that I go to, I'm being targeted in terms of electromagnetic wave. And it seems to me what they have done, they've given them a kind of, uh, it's a special kind of a phone, which is different from what you and I might have, that I've noticed. Some of them are colored, some of them I've seen an orange looking one, I've seen a blue looking one. And also, as soon as I go, because I live very close to Lewisham, as soon as I go into Lewisham Shopping Center, like I said in my previous video, you will see security people coming sometimes from both directions, sometimes it's two, and they look edgy. And once they stop, some of them that are not well trained, they will actually come and hover around me. And as soon as I bring up my phone or something to take a picture, then they'll just scatter away. So obviously in their mind, or in the AI's mind, they think when I see a police that I get triggered. I do not get triggered. Guys, look at my face. I do not get triggered. That's me. You're coming sending police to me. I don't get triggered because I am a public servant. I've worked in the public. My life is working since I was 17 or 18. I've been working in public domain. I started working with Nigeria Airways. Then when I finished, about 10 years. So I've got people skills. I've worked all my life with people. So it's not something that I'm going to hide from a police. One little, I mean, I'm not saying little, I don't want to disrespect, they're doing their job, but based on falsehood. So if you like, take all the police people in the whole country and line it up. If I need to ask questions, I ask. If I need to joke, I joke. I'm not afraid of anybody. I respect people, but I'm not afraid of them. So if you're thinking your AI, that is where your AI has really misled you. If you're thinking by getting all the police people into the street, that I'm gonna be scared. I don't run away. You've never seen me run away. I don't run away. If I see you, I just see you and go about my business, because I know I haven't done something wrong. But it's you that you think I've done something, but you haven't proved it to the world. You haven't showed anybody what I've done for all this targeting, for all this torture you're torturing. And because of that, you're hiding. You know within your spirit and your soul that what you're doing is wrong. And that's why you're denying it. You're hiding behind walls, hiding behind people, pretending it's not happening, because within your soul, you know that what you're doing is wrong. So if your AI is telling you that I'm being triggered by police people, that means your AI is not working well. You need to look well. I am not triggered by police. I am not triggered by wardens. I'm not triggered by anybody, because you're public servant, so am I. I'm not triggered by you. You're doing your job. I'm doing my job. Well, you stop me trying to do my job, fair enough, but I am not afraid of you. I will respect you, because I won't come to disrespect you in your job, but I'm not afraid of you. That's all. I think your AI needs to get it into the system that I'm not afraid. I'm not triggered. If you think by seeing police people trigger me, I am not triggered, and God knows I'm not triggered. Anyway, so by the time I got there was this electricity constantly throughout my body, and I just prayed over it, and I just commit myself to the Lord. I say, I give myself to you, and I plead the blood of Jesus Christ over my life, and say, I plead the blood of Jesus Christ over my life, over my being. And I did my shopping. I continued with my shopping, because there was no point going out if I haven't done all the shoppings that I wanted to do, and I came that far. And I left. Once I left, I got in the bus, and because just after Christmas, when I did shopping, I think I got on the cab. My purse may have, I think, dropped And I wasn't robbed. There wasn't any experience. I didn't experience somebody taking my purse from me, but I knew by the time I got home, I couldn't find my purse with all my credit cards, with all my with my credit cards. By the time I got home, thank God I had some change on me. I had to pay the cab. You know, I got on the cab. By the time I called the bank, somebody has already used up almost £50 from my card. And this is the reason why when this thing happened the first time that I couldn't get my card, that I ran back from Cannon Street, got on the train because somebody has tried to use my name to open an account before. So I was thinking I need to go and find out where my purse is. I tried to phone my son, and that was 2015. My son didn't answer the phone, so I just thought I need to turn back to find my purse because somebody has tried in previous years to try to open an account with my ID or whatever they had that was mine. So, and that is the thing, the same thing that was happening here. By the time I got home, this time somebody has already used £50 from my account. Thank God I reported it straight away to. I noticed it. I did all my shopping, check everywhere, I couldn't find it, and I phoned the bank straight away, and they realized that even within about half an hour period, somebody has already used the card to use it, almost about £50 or thereabouts to buy something from the card. It just goes to show. So this time, thank God I was coming home. If I was going to work, then maybe it would have been another thing that I'm being told that I'm a terrorist. So in their mind, in the police mind, or in the intelligence services mind, in their gut, I'm a threat to the country, I'm a threat to national security, but they haven't told anybody. I haven't been told what I've done. I have tried, like I said in my previous video, when I noticed that I was being gang stalked to 2015. It started that I noticed 2016. I only went to the police 2017 when I continued to register, continued to see a pattern emerge, because before I was thinking it can't be, can it? Why am I being followed? I don't know what's happened. Then I started seeing a pattern. Then I went to the police, and they disputed me. I was being told I'm seeing vision. And the woman that actually, when I saw illusion, that told me that I was being, she was one of the one woman that I noticed that she was part of the ones that was gang stalking me at that time. And at that time, I saw her twice at Canada Water Station, and I saw her twice. And I saw her again when I used to go to church at Woolwich. When I used to go to one of the churches there at Woolwich, that she was standing there. As soon as I finished church, I was gonna go into one of the shops there to buy underwear for my grandchild, and I saw her standing there. She wasn't shopping, she wasn't in the shop, but she was just standing by the shop, in front of the shop, with the usual phone. So I knew, because I've seen her 3 times at that time, and I knew I've seen her at the police station. So I knew she was one of those ones. And she was one of this lady that said to me, I was imagining is that if I'm being stalked, that I should call the police at the time they should come, and that sort of rubbish she was talking. So she was one of those ladies. So I will just show you, this is the reference I had from Lucian police station when I first started, and this is 2018. This is one, if you can see, this is what this is. This is, I don't know if you can see it, stalking and harassment. This is what they gave me. That's 2000. I've just covered the name of the person that was meant to be investigating, which she never turned up. That is it. That is what I was given. They never turned up. They never did anything. And if I was a threat to the country, if I had anything to do in my life, in my existence with terrorism, I think wherever the police is, I'll be running away, because I know sooner or later they will know what was happening. But because I am not into that, I have nobody in my family, nobody that I know, no friend of mine that I know that is even a Muslim, let alone somebody that is a Christian that has been converted. So nobody that I know in my life that is, well, maybe at workplace, yes, people are employed to work, you talk with them, you cannot talk with them. And I'm not sitting here saying all people that are of different faiths are evil or jihadis. I'm not saying that. There's some people out there, they are really nice people that they're just wanting to do religion and they're just going about their business. But for somebody to say, because you went into a lot of people that I've told, they are shocked that you get into a wrong train, that makes you a terrorist. And that is my experience in all of this. So I've been I've been classified as a terrorist, and I believe that's why this attack is happening and a threat to this country. But they have not given any reason or how I became a terrorist. I mean, they put on the light in front of the house here that I live, shine it for over since 2015 or so, shine light there. And when I'm coming on this street, I could see that there seems to be a camera in one of the street lights there that just as soon as I come in, well, not only me, but I'll see it shine, but the light is different from every other light. And I know that it's been documented where they put lights, where they put camera or surveillance, whatever in front of that. So that is my experiences. And before it was gang stalking, and when I noticed that it was too much, I was being followed into work, then I took it. And after reported, I got a solicitor to look into it. The solicitor wrote them to ask them. They said they had somebody. They actually told me they had somebody looking into it, but they won't give a name. And I believe the person looking into it is the man that is the head of what's it called? The head of what is happening here, because he seems to be moving from house to house around this area. First, he does not. I don't think he lives locally. He does not live locally. He's the same man that I've said that has followed me to where I was working, peeping to the window of where I was working. And I believe he's what they call the handler. I think he's the handler or the one handling me. He's not a young man. He seems to be a man in his 60s or in his early 70s, a rugged looking kind of shady figure. So I've seen him. I've seen it a lot of times. I've seen him with his wife. What is surprising me, and that are women, a lot of women, black women, a lot of white women are behind this targeting and torture. When I went to I said, but diabetes nurse, you're sent on courses. When I went to course in Lee, I could actually see a crop hair woman that come in here and check herself into, and I also see a black man that it seems I've seen it before, illusion with a rucksack, gang stalking me among with some of the from the church I used to go to before. So some of them I actually saw some of them, and I saw that man, and I saw the same man in the hotel that I was staying when I was doing that course. The same man I saw illusion. I saw him at the hotel that I was doing the course at Leeds. And I also, the same woman that I saw, I've also seen her a later date at Lucia with the crop hair, with a scarf on her neck. I do wear a lot of scarves because of my neck. I'm not very happy with it. So I do try to wear scarf to cover it anyway. So, and I do use the same scarf if I'm going to church and tie my hair. That's just my preference. So I have seen that same woman, and I've seen other women that are white women. I'm not talking about young ones, older ones. The young ones I could understand. Probably they want some money. A lot of young people, especially when they're in school, I mean, they will paint it as if it's something that they're doing service for the country. I'm sure some of them don't know exactly what they're doing, that they're actually targeting people. It's not about just following this person, really targeting them, with the hope of whatever they ask them to press, they press it. They don't realize that they're actually injuring, causing pain and suffering. But a lot of them do understand. Those police women or those ones that are working with them, they do understand. Those ones in the hierarchy, these ones that I saw that followed me to Leeds, I've also seen that woman at Lewisham, and she's part of the setup of torture gang, because they will know what this is all about. They are not stupid. And also the black man that I saw, I think he's not torturing me, but I noticed that probably he works with the media or something, but he knows a lot what was going on. And maybe he was as a spectator, somebody watching what was going on, but he's not reporting because he can't dare to report. So tag along to see what was happening, tag along to see how they're gonna, and in their mind and in their AI mind, I've been seeing myself, I'm being targeted. My husband is 87, he's been targeted. I don't live with him, we're separated for a long time, but we still come as a family. He's been targeted. By the time he tells me, by the time he gets home or wake up, some part of his clothing will be completely wet. I will sit here every day. If I'm sitting here, by the time I get up, my clothes are moist. You will see the constant flow of this energy into my body, this energy into my clothes. No matter what I cover, it's still there. It's still flowing. And they're targeting me. They targeted as intensify. They are aiming all parts of my body, including my head, my eye, my ankle, my knee. So they want to decapitate me. They want to bring me down. But I know that even these days I can't pray. I'm just, even the songs I used to sing, I can't even sing. I just say, well, I leave it to God. Whatever God seems is okay. I submit myself to God. But I know within my conscience, if I die today, I have not done anything wrong. I have not seek to hurt anybody. I'm not a terrorist. I'm not somebody that put the interest of this country, to harm anybody. I've never thought of harming anybody. My work is to help. I've been a nurse for over, I started nursing as healthcare assistants, and people used to say to me, "You're very good. You're very good. Why don't you go and do nursing?" I didn't see myself as good, but people, through the service that was given to them, and that encouraged me to go and train. Because initially, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a solicitor or a lawyer, so that changed my perspective. I thought, okay, let me go into this humanitarian side of it, and I've enjoyed it. I feel blessed. Those people that have been able to look after, I feel blessed. Every day I leave home to go to work, I ask God to give me the strength, the energy to serve. So I will not turn back after serving people and the same people I'm trying to kill. So this AI that they're using their gut. I know, like the intelligence service, they have a right to kill people if they believe. Believe does not mean, if you can believe something, that is your own belief system, does not mean it's right. It's right for you at the time, but it does not make it. It does not make it, because you believe does not make it. It is the truth. So if you believe, you must have evidence to believe, to get your belief. Oh, I believe this is it. This is the evidence. This is what she's done. This is what she's done. But there is no belief. There is no evidence. The only thing I know in my part was that I took this thing up. And if I'm presenting myself, and having said that, they have the police and the intelligence service. They have tools for assessment. They have. I recently heard about tools of. I even mentioned it in the series of letters I've written to them. I've written lots of letters to them to say, look, you guys are standing on a bad platform, a wrong platform, which is true. I say, I am not that person. They could have used that opportunity if they are being righteous in what they're doing. If they're actually targeting, like people that are trying to harm this country, then there should be a risk assessment. They have that. I didn't know, but when I was writing it, I did say I submit myself that you could have done like the detector used like detector. I don't know if it's admissible in court, but it will give you a clue. But they hadn't, and it's only recently that I understand that they have that tool. They have that tool of risk assessment. As a nurse, for me, if something is happening, you do a risk assessment to see how risky is this situation we have. But they haven't done that. They're believing on the um, assumption. This is how we assume. We presume, we assume. Where is the evidence? You can't produce the evidence, but then you decided to take this one, put it on the slow to kill, and then you started. Because having said that, there's a lot of money involved. So there is a lot of money involved. And I believe without this money, they will not go far. They'll think twice. So if there's a lot of money, money is the root of evil, and it's the one mitigating, encouraging them to go far. The same money that is encouraging these young black people, all black people, to try to earn money while they are targeting. I don't know if they know exactly what they're doing, or I know they've been told lies to start with, but some of them should be able to know if they have something on this man. Why haven't they dealt with it? Why are they asking us to come and deal with it? So, but they haven't, because they're giving vouchers, and is the voucher they're looking at is the money, maybe £50, £30, easy money. So, and then because I've been colored as a risk to the country, but where is the risk assessment? Where is the risk? Where is the assessment to say we've assessed this lady? Yes, she does pose a risk. Where is the risk assessment? I also understand people, about 800, according to what was being said, an ex-intelligence serviceman that was saying on BBC this month, this week, I think it was Monday, that actually about 800 people are on active. I think surveillance means what they maybe 24-hour surveillance and probably beyond. I don't know how many hundreds are into what they are doing to be killed people that the reject of the country. The reject is somebody's mother, is somebody's sister, is somebody's auntie, is somebody's child, is a living being that hasn't done anything. But in the same respect, they are actually taking people that have been convicted of trying to kill, of trying to maim people that have actually killed. They are like the one we had recently that was released half the time, just over half or less than half the time over, and deemed him safe to be released into the country. Even though when they even still had some, they had some. That is the thing that makes me, that it makes the whole thing, you're talking, what is going on here? Even those ones that have been deemed that they risk, I mean, they said they did risk assessment, they failed. It was being radicalized, it was being followed. It was being followed. Then why is it not on AI? Why is the AI not latched to his brain? Why did the AI miss that it was going to plan something? Why is the AI always lashed on children, lashed on women, lashed on, innocent people? Why is it not lashed on people that have been convicted? I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. Every human being should be, if they persecuted him, then they should have given him a long jail sentence and throw the key away so that he does not pose a risk to the society or community he lives in. But instead, they gave him 3 years, then released him maybe just over 1.5 years, and released him. And even though he was deemed to be unsafe, they still release him because I don't know, he's a man or something is happening. Something is not right. I think they need to start looking at this. Something is not right. Then the people that are innocent people, activists, people that raise concern about what's going on, they put them on the list and slowly kill them with electromagnetic wave just because they can, and they can get away with it. The law is behind them. But those ones that are at risk to the society, that man has come up now and start people. It could have been anybody on that street. It could have been anybody. And the other one killed two innocent people that were trying to help him. So again, with that person, he was to be not to be radicalized, to be taught not to be radical. It does not make sense. It does not make sense. This is their religion they were born into, and they believe everything that was said to them is being said to them by their men. And those people that are radicalizing them, how come they are allowed into the prison system to keep on, wasting people's life? It's beyond me. And where is the AI? Is the AI machine sleeping? Where are the authorities? Are they sleeping? They are meant to get into their head. They're meant to, people that are a threat to the country, they're meant to get into their head, to read their mind, to stop them change behavior before they do it. So how come are these people more than the AI? So how come these people are able to come out of the prison? Like this man, he didn't give himself a chance. He straight the next day, go and stop people with the hope of killing them. It just goes to show that the system has broken. The system has broken. My husband is 87 years old. He's lived in this country more than 50 years. He's being put on this system to be killed. I mean, if we don't do things, I mean, I know people that do this type of thing, they don't believe there is God. They don't believe they are going to pay anything. They believe in their own self-worth. They believe that nothing can happen to them when they die. I don't know, their belief system. Believe there's no retribution. They die, and they don't die. So they are ready to do this without any second thought, without any thinking, without anything. Let's hold on. What are we doing? So a 7-year-old man is being put on a slow kill system. My children, some of them have been targeted. I know for sure. Some of them don't believe it. I don't want to ram it into their head, but some of them, for me, I know. At least one of them is being targeted as we speak. Being targeted. So what is the? Because just my child. But what has this person done to what I'm being targeted? What have I done? Where is the risk assessment? As a nurse, I have to do a risk assessment. If I suspect something, there is a protocol for risk assessment. I have presented myself to the police on many occasions. They could have used the opportunity to do a risk assessment on me. They didn't do, but instead, a black woman, put her, she's Nigerian, yeah. As a black person, you're the lowest of the low. Obviously, you should. And for the father, I'm having a voice. It's for them. Oh my God, who does she think she is? We're gonna kill. I've had death threats. I have death threats. I mean, there was a day that I actually thought they had planned that day to come and kill me, because that man actually, I know what they were gonna. I just thought about it. Probably the scenario of what they were trying to create, because something just stopped him. As soon as I knew this thing, I got out of the house and I phoned. I was actually panicking. I phoned whoever that I wanted to phone. I could see that person stop, and when I used to wear a camera, when he sees me coming this way, if he's coming, he will go back out. I've seen that person. And again, recently, was it late last year? I was just flicking through my computer. I deleted it before I realized what I deleted, because there was this naughty, I don't know, somebody embedded these naughty women into my computer, and I thought, I will kill you. Just something at the corner of my eye, I will kill you. And I thought, well, my life is in God's hand. When God says my time is up, I give myself. You can't fight that. You give it. I give God's glory. I give God thanks and give God praise for the experience that He has allowed me to experience His work, what He has done. And I thank Him for even letting me see this glorious day, because throughout what has been happening, I never thought I will see, through the targeting, through the whatever throughout my life. My life has been a lot of sorrows, but through that, He has given me joy. Through all the sorrows, through all the pains that my life has envisaged since I knew myself, I still have joy and happiness, because having said that, there are some people that are still worse than me in their own situation. So I still give thanks to God. So on that day, last week, a lot of targeting, a lot of energy in my body. It was just as if the energy wants to pop out of my body. And if you have experienced it, it comes with pain. And apart from that, when I get home, is the same thing. The targeting. 2 days ago, I think on Sunday nights or Sunday nights or Sunday nights, as I was sitting here, all I could feel was this stinging, like somebody was pouring a hot pin on my body. And I took my meter, this meter. I took one of my meter, this meter. I didn't have a camera. I took this meter, and I measured. It was coming from the wall, just opposite direction of where I'm sitting, or to my right. It was coming from the wall, the wall here, and it measured up to 217 on this EMF meter. It was coming 200. I didn't tape it because I didn't have camera. I just thought, let me find out. 217, 217 mg from this wall, just by putting it near the wall. I could feel it, because what I could feel was like somebody pouring hot pins on my back. And I just said, I've not been measuring it, because I just thought, what is the point? And that's what my experience. And through this meter again, this meter, you will see, this is the meter that measures EM fields, acoustic air. This is the same. See? You see? Constant attack on this side of my head. And you see? Spike. You see the spike? Before I came on, it was all red. It was going to the last color. It was going to there. See, this is it. Before I came on, I did measure it, because there was like a lash on my head, and sometimes it makes the head hot. And I tried it. It was all red. It was all going to 6 points. So it's 3 points now. It's between 1 and 3 points, but it goes up to 6 points this evening. And you can see my eyes. This part of my eyes will go red. This part of my eyes will go red. So that was one of my experience that I had up Bromley. The other experience was that I also had, like last week, I had this called hyper optic. That one. That's it. I had this letter, and this address, this place that I had. This one here, that one there. I noticed that it's a block of flats near where I'm living. And I noticed that since the gang stalking started, that they used to use one of the flats up there. I don't know which flat it is, I can't say. But I know that there is a small hall at the ground floor that was being used by religious people. Thank God, it's been blocked off, because these people used to come all the way from somewhere else to come and hold there or whatever there, and sometimes you couldn't even pass there. So I'm happy that it's been blocked off. So what I've just shown you, I know that they used to they do have a flat there or a room that they're using. I don't know if it's their official center, but I know that cars, or is their delivery room, cars, vans, some of the targeting vans that I saw earlier on when it first started, that I noticed were always parking in front there. So there is a connection of my targeting with that block of flats. And I just received this letter, was it last week, that is written to my address here, residents, that they're doing hyper optic coming to that place I've just mentioned. With your help, we can make it happen faster. So I believe in that. This is what they meant by when I say my targeting has intensified. This is what they meant. So I'm thinking they're using 5G on me, because the intensity compared to what they were doing last year is much intensified what they're doing. And anytime that I'm dressing to go up, to go out, this thing just overwhelm my body like electricity that won't go. Is attached to my body, is attached to my clothes, and you can actually see my inside my clothes vibrating. So I think it's the 5G. So they were just notifying me. I don't know how many people I really communicate now with my neighbors, because there's no point of using my energy to talk to them. I know a lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them are into this targeting thing. They've been brainwashed. So let me put it that way, brainwashed. So I am not in, before, I've been living here since 2004, and this is 2020. So I've lived here for a long time. I had no problem whatsoever with anybody in my life. In anywhere I've lived, I've never had any quarrel. I've never had any problem with anybody. I have peaceful neighbors. I don't quarrel. There's no point to quarrel. Even if somebody don't like me, I stay on my own. Anyway, I was working in the morning, I'm out in the evening, I come back very late. So sometimes when I see people is when I see them on the road. Oh, how are you? So there is no, a lot of them are nice people, but I'm sure they've just been told lies about me, and they're keeping quiet, probably keeping to themselves, which I'm quite happy. As long as they're not targeting me. It's not everybody that is targeting me where I live, but I know people that are targeting me. So I've seen, they said, we are currently considering the possibility of installing our full fiber infrastructure into your building, delivering the hyper fast broadband speeds. Once installed, you will have access to. So I think it's 5G, 50 mg. So I think it's the 5G they're talking about, because I can see it on my system, I can see it on my body, I can see what is happening, and it's 5. And the one lashing on my head now, it was flashing before, but now it is really intense. The intensity is that, so they're trying to cause cancer, brain damage, brain cancer. But God gave me this brain. God gave me my brain, and this brain, when God's time, when my time come, I'm gonna go home with the brain God gave me. I've never wished anybody not to go with their brain. I've never wished anybody not to have brain damage. But whatever it is wished on me, I cancel it in the blood of Jesus Christ. That's my prayer. So I think this is me, because it seems these days they are just updating me in a kind of a mockery way. They will send a letter like the letter I share with you. The last time somebody sending me this letter to join in that is my own opinion. I don't know if that's exactly what happens, but I believe it was an opinion to join gang stalking, giving a kind of a code to code into my computer. Then there was no address I did share with you. So this I've mentioned this, I think, in one of my videos. So this is where the house where a lot of the deliveries are coming, a lot of the cars. Sometimes when I see a lot of cars in there, and when I notice that, as soon as I began to be targeted, as soon as I notice the car, they would drive off very quickly. So some of the cars, that's where they have their delivery. That's where. So I'm thinking that's where the feature center is, and that's where the 5G. So I'm being notified. It's a kind of a mockery, but I get it. I get what that means. I get it. So there's no point to. And also, I have also seen in my email somebody called Anthony and Martin. Anthony and Martin. I've never heard them before. Sent like an estate agent, but again, you could remember one time I did mention. I don't know if that's the correct name. I just mentioned Martin and Anthony. That I believe is my handler. So I know maybe because of that. So because my computer is hacked, so they have access to my computer to put things in there in a mockery. When they started this physical torture, somebody did send me an email, something Dexter has won, something Dexter has won. So again, they are trying to tell me they have won, maybe the case to target me or to put me on the list to be killed. But I'm grateful to God, despite all the pain, despite all the suffering, I'm still here, and I continue to say thank you, Lord Jesus, for your care and protection over me. So those are the things I wanted to share for so far. So this is the number, and this is the second number I had from the police. This you can see from the metro, your crime information. That is it that I had. This is the second one after getting a solicitor, after getting a number. That was the second one. After going to the police station, I actually went there, excuse me, on two occasions by myself. They didn't want to answer me. After I think it makes sense now, because we are meant to be the non-investigated investigation or investigated people. When we go to complain, we are meant not to be investigated. So we've been declared undesirable, people to be killed. So undesirable. So I get what that means now. But then people that are not desirable are people that have committed, that have been convicted of trying to commit crime, killing people. Those are not registered as undesirable. Those are the ones that they believe, oh, if we talk to them one or two words, they will change their mind. And some of them actually probably are back from Syria, where people don't know where they are. And some that they know, they just put a tag on them and say, oh, they won't commit it. They say they promise they won't commit it. And this is what we are seeing now. We've seen two so far, and God knows, we just hope and pray that this will be the end of it, that no more of that, because it's the poor, the innocent people that are just minding their business, that they're just getting on their daily bread. Those are the ones that have been targeted. Those are the ones that have been killed on the streets. And but the people that are meant to keep us safe are then turning their eyes on innocent people and killing them. So it just makes you wonder what's going on. And that's my question. What's going on, guys? Anyway, that is for me. That's for you to see. So the other one I wanted you to see the extent of my targeting. In one of my videos, I did show you where I've had lots of white marks on my body that I never had before. And this is the one that I had. This is the under my belly. I'm sorry for the so this is the under my belly. You can see that is the mark I had across my belly, the fold of my belly. That is the one I had about since after Christmas. All I had was this is all across my belly. Yeah, black marks. The other ones I had was white marks, and this one, all I felt was like stinging. Like this thing was stinging, pop was just popping out of my body from when the this thing lashed on my face, on my head, and this is what has been happening. Trying to double it. This is it. This is my under my belly. This is it. So before I had all white marks, and this one was the one I had. And some of them were bleeding, so I don't know how to get rid of this. I don't know what it is. If any one of you know, please let me know, or how to get rid of this. This is at the fold of my belly. When you have children, not everybody. I happen to have a big wobbly belly, which I'm trying to do. Well, hopefully, try to do something about it. So all I felt was this stinging, stinging, stinging on my back, stinging. It was just popping out in my belly, as if you have all these children when they eat their pops, it was popping. I didn't realize it first, but one day I had a bath and I just felt kind of as if something was bleeding on my side there, and I just asked my grandchild to see. She saw it. The next time I put something in it, and I just had it look, all my the lower part of my folds on my belly, or was you could see the pops. It's not regular. It's just pop, 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 and on top of my hair, pubic hair, too. Um, and that was one, and some of them were bleeding, and this is some of the targeting that I've experienced, and apart from the one lash onto my brain here that is on 24/7 constantly, that has increased too. But those are the targeted. What they've done, they are going on my knees, both knees, they are going on my hip. And before, they used to put something like a dart that will actually bleed, and I believe that was a laser. So the laser will come hit me, I will feel it. Then when I look, there will be some bleeding coming out from the side. It wasn't black, but it was swollen. So this one is the one that I've just noticed. This was after Christmas, and I think it happened before the last time, a week ago, when I did. But I didn't. I've already finished my updating before I realized I hadn't put it. So I thought I'd just share that with you. So I don't know if any one of you are experiencing the same thing, but I know that as a targeted person, especially when you're a black person, and especially when you're very vocal, that you're being treated. You have the worst. So my understanding, it comes in grade according to who is handling you. There are some handlers that will just use minimum. There are some handlers that they want. My handler, I'm sure, is a racist man. So for him, for a black woman to be talking openly, it must have come to him as a shock. And in his mind, I will kill you. I will disable. Yeah, kill me. You've got a wife, and your wife is sitting there earning, being taken to shopping, being taken for maybe a holiday, based on the money paid that you're targeting people. You're targeting people. That is how he earns his money, by torturing people. And I don't know how she could sleep, go on the bed, then probably have hand children, beg God, please protect me and my children. Whereas her husband, the money that is feeding her own existence as a woman, is through targeting and torturing other people. And then they justify, anyway, they justify they're working for the government, and she must deserve it. She must do this. But where is the evidence? Where is the evidence of this? And where is the conscience? I know when you're working in this sort of environment, people like that don't have conscience. And people like that have done this type of a thing over and over again. They have no feeling for any human life. I'm just a number. Children are just numbers to be targeted. I mean, if they've done one, they've done two, they've done, the law protect them. What do they care? There's no care of if I'm caught, I will pay dearly for it. And the women are enjoying the money. The women are actually part of it. I've actually seen two white women. I'm not talking about the young ones. The young ones, they're being brainwashed. I mean, that probably work with the system, that are part of this gang stalking and targeting. I can identify these two women. I've seen two women, and these are grown-up women. We're not talking of kids. We're not talking of 21, 22, 23 being sucked into this without really realizing what they're doing. And also, I've seen older men that are in the public standing there, gang stalking me. Yeah, I've seen old white men standing there gang stalking me. And when I notice their talk, you see them move away quickly. And I'm thinking, at your age, you should be asking God, everything that I've done in the past that I did not know, please forgive me. They were part of it, because I'm sure it's the lifestyle they have lived. Maybe that's where the holiday money comes from. And maybe that's where the Christmas holiday come from, that the present come from for the wife and children, by targeting other people, ramming them up with sickness, and they die off. It's not their cup of tea, as long as they pay them the money. And they are not wrong in saying money is the root of all evil. But I know within my conscience, even if you kill me, that I haven't done anything wrong. So whenever my time comes, I give glory to God. I've seen his work. I've seen the beauty of this world, and I keep praising him for this experience he has given me. There is a reason why things happen. So I'm thanking God for this. But I've asked God, whatever I need to learn, let me learn, because I don't know what I'm learning from this experience. It's just beyond belief, you know. It's just beyond belief. This is meant to be a Christian country. You know, we follow Christ's teaching, regardless of what you do. But obviously, some people don't believe in Christ. They don't believe in anything that it teaches. They just believe in their strength that one day they just happen to be, and they just happen to be this person, and they just happen to give themselves life and the air, and then they just happen to be who they are. They believe in their strength and their wickedness. So there is Lucifer. So people that will worship Lucifer. So they have no respect for God. They don't believe there is God existed or retribution existed. So I leave that. It's not for me to judge. I ask God to judge. And for now, I just thought I'd share that. And again, one other thing, I went to Sky to try to change my, because I was paying too much. And as of now, I'm not working. They stopped me working by saying that I've got mental health problem. You know, when I was complaining that I'm being gang stalked, and this person said, because I was using these meters, this meter that everybody uses. I mean, if I'm going to court, this is the evidence I'm going to be showing. And this meter, that is sign off. So that is an NHS doctor saying that NHS, I won't call him doctor, I mean, is his opinion in it. So if you use this meter, that you use this meter, that's EMF meter. I didn't create this meter. So maybe we need to talk to the company that made this meter. Maybe this is a false meter. So if you're using this to measure your wall, if you feel electromagnetic wave is coming in, so that means you've got a mental health problem. That is it. That is what he said. So this is what he said. This measures the electromagnetic field, the electrosmog detector. It measures up to from 200 m watts to 8 gigahertz. So that is the one, and that's the one I use in measuring when it's there, and you can see the spike in it. So it's still there. He said that anybody that you that because I'm using it, that shows sign of mental health. So he just leaves a lot. He just wonders will never end. And this is a trained person that is being called a doctor. This is somebody that is being. It's not somebody that is not educated. This is somebody that is educated and being called a doctor. Now I'll share this with you. Yeah, these guys, I don't think it's their fault. I went and got a new contract with them. I was told by the lovely man that somebody will come and change my box. Somebody will come and change it. Somebody will come and give me a new box and a new pin, because they get themselves into my TV, because they've manipulated my TV and manipulated. Nobody has turned up. They now said to me they will turn it, they will do it remotely, whereas I was told that somebody will come. So I don't know who is gonna fix this, because I've got no knowledge of how to fix that. I was told somebody is going to come and fix this, but now I'm being told it will be done remotely. So where does that leave this password that I've got from this guy? So we're yet to find out. But I know they will not want, because the last time they changed my number, it was very difficult for them to change, because they know that they have directed my number from the control room or whatever it's called. They have directed my number, because even now when I phone home, most times when my sister phoned me, I've got two sisters at home, and I've got a nephew and a niece. Their mother is my sister that died. So I'm their mom. I'm their mom. Since their mother died when they were very young. So they see me as mom. When those kids are trying to contact me, they can't, because when they phone me, my number is showing redirected. So I don't know who is redirecting my number to where. And these are people that needs to talk to me, because I'm mom. I'm mom. My sister died young. So those children knows me as mom. I'm mom. And I've been looking after them as much as I can, my strength. So I'm mom. So one of them said he was trying to call me, and my phone was saying redirected. And most times, if I try to call them, not with my contract phone, with the small phone that I buy, it will say I cannot reach the number, or it's been redirected. So I don't know what they what they're hoping to get. I think they think I'll become frustrated. I've already told everybody that I know what's going on. I am not frustrated. You're just wasting your time. And again, if you think taking all the police people in this country and line them on the street that I'm gonna jump into the toilet or jump. It's not gonna happen. I respect them. I've been working in the public since I was 17 or 18. So I'm a public person, I'm a public servant. I talk to people, I can crack jokes with anybody, I can talk to anybody under the sun. I'm not afraid. So you need to go back to your AI machine and say to them, it ain't working. So getting people, I was coming back from Bromley that day, the day I was talking about. By the time I got to, before I got to Catford, about 8 police got into the car. 8, 2 metro. There were 2 that came in, like did those ones that the ticket people. 2, then 2 metropolitan police came in and stood at the back where the door is, at the middle part. 2 of them, 2 were standing in the front there. About 6 of them that were police people, and 2 they were like people, inspectors that check the card into one bus at one time, at the same time in that bus. And they were looking menacingly, and I'm talking, God, Lord Almighty. No, I got out of it because I needed to get out to do what I needed to do. But I'm thinking, what is all that about? You're putting all those police people where people that should be guarded, that should be, they should pay attention, are coming out of prison and let loose into the community, going to commit crime. And you're standing there, menacing, looking menacing, harassed. There were some black people there, and there was mixed black and white. I'm just thinking, if you think you're doing that to trigger me to do what? I'm not triggered. When I see you, I just laugh at you. If I have my camera, if you harass me, I'll take your picture. So you should let you know that you're not harassing me. I don't feel frightened by you. You should be protecting the public, including me. So I'm not feel frightened by you. So standing there making yourself big does not make you look big in my eye. I just feel sorry for you, because I know you're a public servant. You're doing your job. So am I. If I'm doing my job, I'm a public servant. So I do my job with respect, with honor and dignity. So you should follow suit. So standing there, 8 of you or 7 of you get into one bus that was already full up, trying to look menacing, does not do anything for anybody. I don't know who it does. If I was maybe a terrorist, then I'll be frightened. I'm not frightened. I'm not a terrorist. So whatever you're doing, your AI is misleading you and misinforming you, and you're just following. And AI is a machine. It's not human. It's what you put in there, what you get. So you need to realize it's what you put in. If you don't put it, it does not act. So you put it in there, all this information, you do a software and put it in there, it's acting according to your software. I know human being, it does not get up and walk. So at some point, there will be human error, and it's gonna mislead you to where you don't want to be. So that's what I would say. So anyway, anybody going through this, just get your chin up. Don't be frightened of don't be intimidated by anybody. Put God in front of you, and that's what I do. I can't pray every day because of the torture. I would like to pray more. I would like, sometimes I just sit and watch TV, which I'm not very happy about. I feel that maybe my head is been trying to deviate me from doing that, but because of mind manipulation. But I'm aware of it is happening. And sometimes I'm able to just pray, and God understands because I'm only human. Do you understand? But I try not to dwell in sin. So whatever you're doing, whatever you're going through, put it under the cross and plead the blood of Jesus Christ on yourself. And I was given 3 days to die. That was 2000 and when was I aware of it? 2018. I was given 3 days. I used to see it comes up on the on my this thing. After 3 days dead, then they started, then they would tell me you're dead, I'm gonna kill you, you're dead. And I'm still here. It's only when God says yes. When God says yes, nobody can say no. So, and also one thing that is making me so glad, that their own life does not belong to them, belongs to God. Their own daily living, the air they breathe, it's not them. They didn't make it. So they're just like you and I. It's just that they're committing crime that is being covered up. So when God times comes, their crime will be exposed, and they will be exposed. There will be no hidden place for them. And that's what I believe in, and that's what I know. So this person that is my handler, I know him very well. I know his face. I know his wife. I know they move around within the vicinity. He does not live here. He comes in here, but they rent. So the money that they will have, and where I live, I don't live here. Where I live in a government council house, but around my area, houses are so expensive. So the money that they're spending to harbor lies, to harbor misconception, to just spend for these people to live in luxury, lying and tormenting people is beggars belief, all in the name of of a national threat, but then the real threats are being let loose to go and commit more crime. So I just don't understand it. I just don't understand. But one day it will be made clear, because there's nothing that is done in the dark that can, that will not come to light. It will all be exposed one day, and we all get to the truth. And that's what I believe in. I thank God for that. So if you're going through what I'm going through, keep your chin up, keep doing what you're doing. I don't have a job at the moment at which I'm working, at least everything that I've learned to help one or two persons, not to become ill with diabetes, including myself, because since I've not working, I've been eating what I shouldn't be eating, because I'm just bored. So I need to get back online, and I need to start helping more people, just not to become, affected with this dreadful condition. So they have stopped me in my prime when I was starting getting into it, but God has the last say in what I do. So that's what I believe in. So I'm hoping at some point to start, doing education on diabetes, and also reminding myself what I should be doing myself. So I thank you all for listening to me. I still apologize. I have no knowledge how to make my video a bit better than what it is. So I just thought I'd share with you my experiences the last over 1 week here. So the targeting has intensified. They're lashing on my brain as we pick this part of the brain. Sometimes my brain becomes very hot, that part of the brain just lash on it. And I believe it's neuro monitoring, and it's just like something trying to suck into it. And I believe they're trying to injure that part of the brain, or it has got injured, or try to cause it to bleed, to have maybe stroke, or cause it to develop brain cancer. But at the end of it, I commit myself to God. What will be, will be. And I thank God for this experience and the life He's given me. Because the Lord says in every situation, you have to give thanks to Him. I give thanks to Him. I leave everything to God to sort out for me, and He will sort it out. So if any one of you is going through what I'm going through, please put your chin up for all those targeted individuals. I don't know what's happening with Dr. Catherine. I've not been able to get through to, I know she was saying that they wanted to stop her appearing on YouTube. So I don't know if anybody have heard from her. Please let us know, and let us know how the court case is going, because it gives everybody hope, even if she doesn't win, but at least she has made an effort. She has tried as a woman. So that's somebody we have to applaud for whatever she's doing to help the targeted individual. So good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for listening to me. God bless. Grace and peace.